Hey guys, what's up? It's DirectingPete, and we have a huge Fortnite creative update that just dropped. I'm so excited to go over it with you. We definitely have a new prefab, some new galleries, and 2 new devices we didn't even know we needed. So we're gonna dive into it, but first, go ahead and like this video. You can always change your mind later. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel. It helps so much. So glad to have your support. And yeah, enough of this funny business. Let's get into the video. All right, so the first thing we have is that prefab right over there on the right. We have some galleries. We have some beautiful, beautiful new skyscrapers that we're going to go over in just a moment. So let's go ahead and dive in, starting with this wonderful prefab right here. We have this wonderful looking mansion prefab, or house prefab, that has a really nice fall theme to it as we start to enter the fall time. It's kind of like a ruined house. It does look like it's using a lot of old props with just a few new props. What's nice about it, I think, is it just shows you how to use multiple prop galleries from different galleries and merge them together into one thing. I think it's just Fortnite's way of saying, hey, when you're building these POIs, don't feel like you have to stay with the same prop gallery for each POI. So I think it's kind of nice to just get creativity going and let you see how things are built differently. Here is the prop gallery, which majority of this is older props, but there are a lot of new ones too. We have that grave tombstone. We have some leaves here that are pretty new. We have these beautiful lights right here that are pretty awesome as well. We have these fall bushes that are pretty dope, and I really like the bushes. We have this really cool tree sign over there. There's a lot of cool new props, actually, that really resemble Halloween and fall. I really think there's going to be a big push for this Halloween this year. I don't know why they're always into Halloween, but they are. If you notice, the hitbox on those bushes are also really nice, too. It takes a few hits to break them, so it's not instant. So one thing that I just almost overlooked completely that's really cool, we have a regular Peely, Kitty, and Cuddle Bear, and then we also have the cursed versions of all 3. Kind of cool if you ask me. So you have this cursed before and after look going on, which I think is cool. You have this cool picture right here. Some other things as well to just look through. But yeah, otherwise, this is a really cool prop gallery, and I think we are all going to incorporate it into our maps for the fall and for Halloween as that comes up. Speaking of pretty cool updates, let's also look at the new lettering that they released. And with that lettering, they created this backboard where you can kind of spell out something. In this case, I'm just writing the word hi. But you get the idea here. You're able to kind of create and make your own boards. Think of like a movie theater and you're premiering something. Maybe you have like a little thing premiering. You know, you can do something like that. I think it's pretty cool. I think, you know, we've needed new letters for a while, and this is a good touch. And I like the little board it comes with in the back there. So you can have like a little marquee where you have a video present or a circus or something, anything to do with kind of Showtime theme. Now, this next gallery we're going to go over is very interesting. It's a first for Fortnite Creative, and it looks like what Fortnite has done is they helped create some cityscapes for us. Now, the memory on some of these is still pretty high, 2160, 800, but building these on your own would probably cost a little more than this anyway. What's really nice about this, you can scale a city in the distance. It's just meant to be from a very far, far away point. Now look at the render distance on the city. That's one thing I wanted to check, and I noticed that it actually has a really good render distance. Now, even if we come to this other side here, if you notice, the prefab we laid down over there will start to disappear. Now that doesn't have as good of a render distance as this cityscape does, which is actually very impressive. So they had render distance in mind when creating these, so you could put these pretty far off on the map and see them from pretty far away. If you notice, the back of these are not complete. The reason they do that is to save memory, of course. You know, I'm going to just really quickly speed build here for you another version of a city that you can create in just moments by resizing some of these props. And there you have it. You have just another version of a city with resized props from the city skyline gallery. And boy, am I excited to go over the devices with you now. We have 2 brand new devices. We have a timer device, and we have another great device, which is the real time clock device. Now, the timer device does replace the old timer device, but this new timer device has a ton more settings. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and place down an old timer. Now, here's the only bummer. The old timers only cost 20 memory each. Now, the custom timer is 400 memory. You have this free floating timer that can go anywhere anywhere in your map now. It's not constrained, but it does cost a little more memory, but it also has a ton of cool features. You can set a timer name. You can apply the timer to a player, guys. You don't have to assign it to everybody. Let's say a player activates the timer. It will only apply to that one player. So imagine the things that you can do in your map where somebody can activate a challenge and they have a time limit to do that challenge, but other people on the map playing the map will not be a part of that challenge. So there's a lot of really cool things you can do here. You can either result the timer on end as a fail or a success, depending on what you're trying to do. Completion behavior, you can just stop the timer, reset it. Now you can make the timer visible and have a timer color. You can show off the timer minutes visibly if you want, or make them invisible. Timer name, I could just call this something like speed race, right? Display time in seconds or minutes in seconds. And then you can come up with different things depending on what's going on. You can rename these anything you want. Now, this is pretty cool as well. Success score value. Let's say you complete whatever it is in the amount of time given. You can give a score. Let's say you have a score-based game. You can give one score. If you don't get it in time, you can lose a point. A score per second remaining is pretty cool. So let's say you do the timer and you complete it 5 seconds before it was over. So now you have a score of 1 plus 0.1 per every second. So you'd have a score of 1.5. Pretty cool. So that's a cool way of creating XP grinding through doing time challenges and creating challenges on your map, especially if you're doing something like a BR, which I know a lot of people love to do. Okay, so I apologize for waiting to talk about the coolest device at the very end, which is the real-time clock device. Now, what's really cool about this, guys, you can change the settings to set a time and day, let's say for an end event or some kind of event on your map. Now, currently it is locked to time zone GMT. Make sure you Google search GMT to find out what time it is in GMT time zone compared to your time zone when setting the clock for right now. So that is important. 2 p.m. GMT is going to be very different than 2 p.m. PSD or EST. So make sure you're checking your time zones and making sure you don't screw that part up. Now, do you need to be published to use this device? No, but if people are loading in, they'll have to load in with you and still wait for the countdown, which will still be active. But this does play better for published maps, especially if you are trying to do something like a live stream and you have an end event and you want everyone to join at the exact same time. Traditionally when I've done end events in the past, I had to do the end event on live stream first, then publish the code. I don't have to do that anymore. I can publish the code, have everybody load in at the same time that doesn't get in on the stream, let's say, and then you can have hundreds of people play your event all at once. Now, this is really good for big creators. This is also very good for small creators because you can build hype. Hype is extremely important. So guys, the real time clock device is a hype device. That's what I like to call it. And what's so cool about it is, let's say you screw up your end event an hour before, you can still make updates to your map and fix your end event, and it still will not affect that countdown. All right, guys, that basically covers all of the devices. I hope this helped, and if you want me to do a deep dive of any of these devices, let me know in the comments below. Please like and subscribe to this video, and until next time, take care.